Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am your host, the Queen Luffy, or better known as just Luffy. And through this series, I'll be interviewing the creative brains behind Drestoriam. We'll be talking to all 5 members of the team, getting to know them each a little bit better, and maybe even spilling some piping hot tea. I'd like to welcome you all back to meet the team. Let's welcome Brian to the stage. He's obsessed with drag and he once tried to overthrow a queen.
Ooh, 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 O'Reilly.
Auto parts. Oh God.
Right. Thank you very much, Luffy, for having me. Thank you.
All right, Brian, you're our developer, the brain behind all of the fancy new custom plugins. So you have to tell us, what's your absolute favorite plugin that you've been working on?
So there's been quite a few different plugins that I've made in between kind of the last remnants of our previous project and moving into this one. But I think my favorite one would have to be, it's called Drestoriam Sheets. And it's kind of the basis of what we're using going forward. So previous members may be familiar with like MCMMO. Well, we still love her. She's still present. She's on the attendance sheet. She's no longer the teacher's pet, let's say.
Okay.
Drestoriam Sheets will kind of be taking that spot in order for us to kind of push for a more roleplay centered approach. So Drestorium Sheets is what's going to allow us to do that.
All right. Is there anything more you can give us with that, or you're gonna leave us wanting?
I can say a few more words. So,
Okay.
Drestorium Sheets is kind of all-encompassing plugin. We all love our character sheets, of course.
Of
And so
course.
Drestorium Sheets is that. But it
All
also
right.
points us in a more, let's say, Dungeons and Dragons style skill approach.
Ooh, okay.
So you kind of have some stats and values put with those stats, and that's how we're going to be looking at skills in roleplay going forward.
Very interesting. Thank you for that about Destroying Sheets.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of plugins, are there any plugins that are still in the works that we won't see until the server is a bit more established? And if there are, could you give us some hints?
Yeah, so there's actually a couple plugins that we're working towards. Some that are going to complement things that I've already developed that we're going to open with. But there's also some that we're kind of taking from scratch. There's some plugins that we're bringing back that are oldies and goodies, of course. But our idea with Drestoriam is to truly open things up into as immersive of an experience as we can possibly make. So, one plugin that has not quite been started yet, but is on the docket, is what we're referring to currently as Drestorium Brews. So we'd like to create a more immersive, interactive, hands-on brewing plugin, and that's what that will be.
Interesting. Anything more you can give us, or that's all we're getting for now?
Unfortunately, that's gonna be all that you get for now.
Oh, that's
We
okay.
we haven't started development on that yet, so that will be at a future date for sure. But let's just say you'll know when it's on its way.
Okay, we'll know. Got it. So, more of what I know and what definitely our viewers know is that you were the host of many, many, many out of character events that the server hosted. Are there any events that you plan on hosting come the new server for out of character activities? What are we expecting? Am I going to see a Survivor 2.0 so I can win finally? What are your thoughts?
If I'm not hosting OOC events, call 911 because I'm dead. I'm dead, I'm kidnapped, I've been shot, I've been killed. I'm I if I'm not hosting OOC events, there's a problem. So absolutely, you can 1000% 1000% expect a season of Drestoriam Survivor. For
Okay.
those that may be familiar with our old Mordonia Survivor series, you can expect a reset, let's say. There's already some ideas in the works, some concepts flowing, some discussions being had on that. So that is coming faster than you probably expect, let's say. Um,
Okay.
but for other kinds of OOC events, because, well, Survivor's my child, and I will bite anybody that tries to take that from me. Um, I love exploring other OOC concepts. I'm down to bring back, well, bring back other series that may have happened. Like Beach House Party seemed to be popular. It just never got greenlit for a second season, so that may be
Dang.
something that we bring back, probably under a different title, considering.
Probably.
But something like that may come up, as well as our OTEV series that some people other may be familiar with.
Yes. Yes.
But I really,
Alright.
really, really, and I cannot emphasize this enough, really, want to bring more OOC events to the server. In fact, I am starting a event team. So a new team of staff will be our event team that I will be heading and helping. So those who are as talented as myself, really, can apply and join that staff team when we open applications, and they can help host events, create events, run events, help other players do all of that as well. Because it's a process. It takes time. It takes a certain
Yeah,
set of skills. But
it
events are
does.
kind
It
of the
does.
lifeblood of the server.
They are, and all of that sounds very exciting. I'm so excited to see what that team comes up with when they are indeed started. Speaking of excitement, how excited are you to get into the RP on the server? Are you going to approach it any differently than you did when you were on the server? I know you were the cause of many different interesting RP roles. So you have to tell us how you're thinking to go about it.
Yeah, um, it's kind of difficult to say off the bat. So, my previous approach to roleplay, uh, when on our previous project, was in my head, I was creating like storylines and practically like novel type shit
Okay,
of like I
I can
in
see
my head
that.
I had like dedicated storylines that I wanted followed, and
Mm,
baby, that's not how this works.
that's not
That's
how
not
it
how this
works.
works. So I'm
Yeah,
coming into this with a more matured brain, because it has been several years.
yes.
but B, I'm wanting to step into every character and every opportunity as a free flow moment. And
Okay.
what made that really click for me was one of my last characters, Daisy. I had of course a specific idea of what I wanted.
Yes.
I wanted a revolutionary.
Hmm.
I wanted to attempt to overthrow a government. I wanted to just kind of do something cool, but I didn't have
Yes.
like a roadmap planned out of how I wanted that to take place.
Okay.
So when I started that character, I just started going, and when others approached me to RP or do something, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Not really knowing where that would take me. And boy, did that take me places. First to prison, and then a jailbreak, and then a murder, all in the course of like a week
Oh,
in real
yeah.
life. So
Yes.
I'm wanting to take that energy into Drestoriam of like, I have an idea and potentially an end goal for my character, or at least a goal period for my character. But how I get there and if that ever happens, truly it's irrelevant. I I just want to build storylines. The wind will blow me where it blows me, and I'm sure there will be plenty of people on the server that are going to have an impact on every single one of my characters' journeys.
Most definitely. And that is such a great kind of look for your next and upcoming characters. So, now this question's been asked from for everyone that we've interviewed. What has been your favorite behind the scenes moment that you can give the viewers?
So the behind the scenes has been really a wild ride from start to finish. From like the conception of the idea to like the commitment and the building and everything happening so fast. But if I have to pick like a specific time, it was everything about filming the trailers and even these interviews, really.
Okay.
I There was one day that I say one day, I think it was one night, really. That's how it usually is.
Yeah.
One night where I DM'd everybody and I was like, okay, hear me out. And that's when you know shit's gonna get rough. I
Mhm.
said, hear me out. I'm gonna make a document and I'm gonna send it to y'all within 48 hours.
Stop, I remember
And then I think about 2.5 hours later, that document was then sent in the
that.
chat. So
Yep.
I created a marketing proposal, which was then approved and agreed upon by everyone else, about how I wanted to talk about Drestorium and how I wanted to advertise it and let people know and generate hype and bring this idea out to everybody and show them the real greatness of this project, because I felt it in
Yeah.
my bones. I know it's going to be something great, and I needed a way to communicate that to everybody.
Yeah.
And so that's what the trailers really were. Um, Especially the first trailer. The first trailer means beyond everything to me, and I mean that so completely earnestly.
Aw.
Um, it that first trailer was a project of everyone. All five of us
Yes.
had hands in that pot. We were it was hard work for everybody all around, between myself like planning and directing, writing the storyboard, Laurelyn making a script, Fance voice acting, all of us acting in it, building the
Yeah.
sets. It was such an involved process for a single, I think it's like 5-minute video.
Yep.
Um, but it was so much fun, and it was fully, of course, inspired by Dark Souls 3
TM.
specifically. in case you missed that reference in there. But it really painted the server and its lore in the light that I had in my mind, and I'm so glad that translated to other people from hearing feedback from people not on our team when the video released.
Yeah.
Different like mutual friends and things like that talking about what the trailer reminded them of, and people understanding the references, people getting as excited as I am for everything. Really, really just like it made my heart grow 3 times the size, as the Grinch would say. It warmed my heart in every way, and it made me so excited that people were willing to get on this train with me and go along for this ride.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for that. I definitely remember every single moment you're talking about. They were amazing. We loved it.
Mm,
Thank you so much for coming and doing this interview, Brian.
of course. Thank you for having me. I love your show.
Thank you. I love it too. All right. Thank you so much for having this interview with me,
Of
Brian.
course,
It
I'm
was
happy to
great to
be
have
here.
you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been your host, The Queen Luffy, and I hope you all have an incredible rest of your night.